Totalitarian Texas Ted. All that and more now on Graph's Grievances. There is rightly a ton of focus on this year's presidential election. The leading contender for the Republican nomination is, after all, suggesting he will never leave office again if reelected. But outside of the presidential race, there are also 34 Senate contests on the ballot in November. And while most of these races are not competitive, Democrats and Democratic-aligned independents currently hold the 3 seats that are rated as toss-ups by the nonpartisan Cook Political Report. These key races in Arizona, Montana, and Ohio could very well determine whether Democrats maintain control of the U.S. Senate. And that is because Democrats currently have just a 2-seat majority in the upper chamber. But outside of Arizona, Montana, and Ohio, some Democratic operatives have their eyes on the Senate race in Texas. There, Republican Ted Cruz is seeking a third 6-year term after just narrowly winning re-election in 2018. Then, Democratic Congressman Beto O'Rourke came within 3 points of toppling Cruz. O'Rourke getting closer to toppling an incumbent Republican senator than anyone in 40 years. And while no Democrat has won statewide in Texas since 1994, President Joe Biden gave Democrats their best performance in the state in 24 years. Biden losing to Donald Trump in Texas by less than 6 points only 4 years ago. So with Trump once again expected to top the ballot, the stars might just finally be aligned for a Ted Cruz takeout. The Canadian-born Cruz only growing closer to Trump and authoritarianism since they met on the campaign trail in 2016.
He is choking like a dog because he's losing so badly. We have to put him away tomorrow.
This man is a pathological liar, a narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
Holds that Bible high, puts it down, and then he lies.
Donald is a bully. The man is utterly amoral.
Donald, you're a sniveling coward, and leave Heidi the hell alone.
So will you support him as the nominee?
I'm going to beat him for the nomination.
That's not
he
answering
is
the
not.
question, Senator.
I am answering the question. Donald Trump will not be the nominee.
He's leading right now. You
Donald
just looked in
Trump
that
will
camera
not
and
be
said
the
he's
nominee.
a coward. Will you support him as the nominee?
Donald Trump will not be the nominee.
And here is Cruz just yesterday.
And at this point, I believe this race is over. So I am proud to endorse Donald Trump for president of the United States. I look forward to supporting him enthusiastically because I think it's time for the Republican Party to unite, for us to come together. We've got to beat Joe Biden. We've got to beat this disastrous cultural Marxist agenda in the White House. We've got to retake the United States Senate. We've got to hold the House. We got to come together and win. And with the results last night, the people have spoken. It's time to move onward to victory in November.
Cruz's about-face regarding Trump not isolated to just rhetoric. According to the Washington Post, Cruz worked behind the scenes after the 2020 election to organize Republican senators to object to the certification of Biden's election victory. And on January 6th, as insurrectionists were literally storming the U.S. Capitol, Cruz became the first senator to object to the Electoral College, disenfranchising the more than 81 million Americans who voted for Biden to be president. Cruz's embrace of fascism not stopping there. The junior senator cheering the overturning of Roe in 2022, and the implementation of a near total ban on abortion in Texas.
I believe this is a moment for incredible celebration. This is a momentous moment. This has been 49 years in the coming, and today's decision is a vindication for the rule of law, but it's also a testament to millions of activists, to millions of women who marched in the March for Life, to millions of activists who organized behind the presidential campaigns of Ronald Reagan, of George Herbert Walker Bush, of George W. Bush, of Donald Trump. This is 49 years of hard work to reverse a decision that was egregiously wrong the day it came down. And now the question of abortion, a question that is deeply emotional, that divides America, now that question returns to being decided where it was for the first 185 years of our nation's history, being decided by elected legislatures to reflect the views and values of the people. That's how the Constitution designed it.
Cruz also now continuing his push for a national abortion ban at 20 weeks. And perhaps all of this authoritarianism sounds great to Texans. I mean, who really cares about the right to vote or the freedom to control one's body? But as Texans increasingly vote less Republican, I can only think that the right's embrace of dictatorial control will accelerate this trend. Texas is, after all, known as the Lone Star State and prides itself on independence. And sure, for the vast majority of its existence, the Republican Party embraced this key value. But under Trump, freedom, democracy, and choice have all become dangerous words. And while Cruz once had the courage to stand up to Trump, he has abandoned any principles and self-respect he once had, instead hitching his lion caboose to the twice-impeached former president. Which may explain why Cruz's likely Democratic challenger this year, Congressman Colin Allred, raised almost as much money as Cruz did last quarter, despite not even winning his party's primary yet. Allred taking in $4.8 million to the $5.5 million haul for Cruz. The Cruz campaign reportedly closing the year with over $7.3 million cash on hand to Allred's $10 million. And you can be certain that all of this money will be leveraged by both men as they not only fight to win their race, but give their party control of the U.S. Senate. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, share. It really helps me grow this channel. And join me tomorrow for more.